sun's a bit bright. Hello and welcome back to the delayed Piccadilly Line. I'm on my first round trip, Cockfosters, T4 Cockfosters. I'm about 30 minutes late, so we're going to be reversing at Hatton Cross. I wasn't planning on filming this bit, but I thought I would. So what I'm going to do is we'll film down to Hatton Cross from I don't know where we Hounslow West, and then probably film back towards Hounslow West, and then I'll film what I was intending to film in the first place, which is eastbound through central London. It is a Saturday afternoon, well, Saturday evening. It's about 7:30 at the moment. We've got Pride on in London today. It's very busy. So yeah, we thought we'd see what goes on. Better stop, I suppose. Yes, I'll pick this train up about 20-25 minutes late. We did have a signal failure on the eastbound as well. I think that's cleared up now. So let's turn you around. Actually, I think I'll just leave it from here for the time being. So if you watched my last video, I was running late, which was yesterday. That was running late. And we reversed at terminals 2 and 3. Hatton Cross is very similar. Well, it's exactly the same. I don't know what platform we'll be going into, the eastbound or west, but we'll see when we get there. It's also a warm day today. I think it was about 25 degrees. So we've got extra people out in town enjoying the nice weather. And what I might do is, yeah, the plan is to film in probably from Earl's Court down to Arnos Grove, if all goes well. And then after my break, I'm meant to go to T4 again. So what I might do is, for the following video, I might see how busy it is through town going westbound, with it being a Saturday night. But we'll play it by ear. A lot can happen between now and then. Alright, Hounslow West. Just putting my stuff in my bag, so when we get there we can just turn around. Oh, come on. Right, I'm almost organised. So we're just heading westbound. I don't know if I've already explained, I'm not kind of with it. It's been a long week, I think I said that in the last video. I'm looking forward to my day off. Unfortunately there's housework and things to do, so it's never really a day off. On this train are particularly bad actually, so I'm not sure how much of the tunnel, if any, is coming out, but it's really more just to show you when we reverse. With any luck we'll go into the eastbound, into the westbound and reverse east, because on the last video we went into the eastbound and reversed. So there is a signal in the distance. I can't see it now because this train's blocking it, so I'm just going to slow down. until I can see it, just in case it's red, and it's green. So we're just going to pop out the tunnel, over Crane Bank, over the River Crane, and then back in towards Hatton Cross. So if you're a regular of my videos, you might know that just over this hill there is a red signal just in the tunnel mouth, Whiskey Whiskey 11 Alpha, and it's always red. If there's a train reversing ahead, then it will stay red. In the daylight, I can actually see the second signal. Sorry, at night I can see the second signal in the tunnel. During the day, I can just about see it. First signal's clear, second one isn't. So I guess we're going to be put into the eastbound. Just going to make an announcement to the passengers. We'll shortly be arriving at Hatton Cross Station, where this train will now terminate. All change, please, all change. Oh no, we're going into the eastbound. Passengers for Heathrow, please remain on the same platform and await your next Heathrow service. Once again, this train will now terminate at Hatton Cross, which is the next station. Passengers for Heathrow, please remain on the same platform and await your next Heathrow service. Which I think is about 6 minutes behind me. So once we get onto the platform and the doors open, I'm going to quickly switch you off and change ends so we can get out of the way. This train terminates here. All change, please, all change. I'll see you the other side. This is a Piccadilly Line service to Cockfosters via central London. I'm going to press the right button, try that again. There we go, right. Let's get out of here. So I'm on the East End and this is the westbound platform. So we're going to cross over the track. Again, it's probably not very clear, but it gives you an idea. The normal eastbound is just here on the left hand side. There's a little T, you probably can't see it just here, tells me I'm across the points. So what I'll do is actually I'm going to leave the video here just as we come out the tunnel. I will pick this up at Baron's Court or Earl's Court. Obviously if the signal failure is still going on I won't be filming that, so I need to make sure I follow my procedures correctly, don't want to get distracted. So if I pick up the video a little bit later, that's why. Otherwise I'll see you further down the line if all goes well. I might get taken off the train yet, someone might decide they want a lift, so we'll see how it goes. Catch you later. So we're going to pick up the action at Acton town on the eastbound fast. It's been very slow getting into here. Just having a look, we are just over 20 minutes late. We are being held at a red signal, be on the move shortly. Thank you. The train that's in the local has got the signal ahead of us. So reversing at Hatton Cross has done me no favours. And I can see the next signal is on. That's just changed to green. So it's going to be slow between, well, I think all the way up to Cockfosters. But for those of you who wanted to see what it's like when it's all up the wall, welcome to the life of a train driver. So with any luck, once that train has cleared the next section, we should get the green. Next stop will be Hammersmith, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong. Oh dear. Ugh. Makes it worse, I need the toilet. Wasn't able to go at Hatton Cross. Hopefully, oh, what are you doing? Hopefully I can make it to Cockfosters. Even though I could technically, I can ring them up and tell them I'm going to a toilet in any station. Things are running so late, I don't want to do that unless I really have no choice. So next signal is red. There's a yellow just on the right. You'll see it, that's the repeater. So there's a train there in the sidings. So I'm going to go up to about 20-25 miles an hour. Speed limit is 45, but I'm expecting the next signal, which is around the corner, to be red. If it's not, then we can just go into full power and move on. It's just doing about 20 at the moment. I'm just in series. We've got shunt, series and parallel. I can see the repeater for the next signal is on. And the signal's red. So when I say on, I think I've mentioned it before, on means it's red, or the repeater's yellow to show the red. And when it goes green, we refer to it as dropped off or clear. So the next signal is just the other side of Chiswick Park, so I'm just doing about, what are we doing? 23-24 miles an hour. I think there's two repeaters for this signal. This one, I think there's one just the other side of the station, if my memory serves me. Yep, well, it's a fog repeater, but even so, it's still a repeater. I know it's a fog repeater because you'll see it as we get closer. It's got the white surround, and it should say fog repeater on it. And well, it sort of does. It's a bit faded. And here's the signal. So it is just slightly downhill. I'm doing about 10. Actually, I'm doing less than 10. Let's bring it down. And we're going to have to stop. Once again, apologies. Due to the earlier signal failure, a head trains are disrupted and they are all backing up, so do expect it to be slow for a little while. We'll try and get you on the move as fast as we can. Once again, I do apologise for the delay. This train, the district train there, has just come from Richmond. So I'm doing about 20. The next signal, I can see it's on right in the distance, you definitely won't be able to see it, is the station starter at Turnham Green. I don't want to stop in the platform, so if it stays red, sorry I think I said it was green, it's red. If it stays red, I'll stop before the platform. I can see the repeater for it just behind this little building ahead. I think I said in one of my other videos we try to avoid stopping in these stations if we're not calling there, just because people will try and board or get off the train even if the doors are closed. So unless we're told to stop at a station and open the doors, most of us will wait outside. So station starter is on still. Just got it in series. So the next signal is red, and we call that signal little and large. And there is actually a point where it lines up with some of the line side equipment and you can't see it, just for a split second. So people can miss it if they don't know it's there. We call it little and large because the red signal is higher and the repeater is lower, so you'll see the repeater, if you can't already, just ahead, and you'll see the red higher, so little and large. Yeah, so there's little, or little, I should speak correctly, and there's, like me, large. That's round the waist, not in the wallet. And round the mouth. Oh dear. Something I mentioned earlier, it is Pride today in London, so it was quite colourful coming westbound. We'll see how busy it is, bear in mind we are in a long line of trains. So the next signal has cleared. I'm just going to give it a little bit of power. So the next signal that I know is red is the station starter at Ravenscourt Park. Sorry, that was Stamford Brook we've just gone through. So you'll see we've got the green here, and on the larger green, or the higher green there, you've got the yellow, and that yellow repeats the station starter, and that's the signal at the end of the platform. So again, in an ideal world, I don't want to be stopping on the platform, so I'm doing about 25. I'm going to assume it's still red, so we'll bring it around ready to stop. And we're green, so we can wind up. We call it winding up. Or wound up, they call it. They've got lots of stupid jargon and slang for things on here. Some of it I understand, some of it you think, well, that's just stupid. It's like we don't have a break. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. You have grub. Yeah, I'm on grub. Maybe that says something about the food in the canteens. So we've got a 20 mile an hour TSR, temporary speed restriction, that's been here longer than me. Just see the flashing lights in the forefoot, they're yellow flashing lights to tell me it's a start. It used to be 25 down here. You can see the old sign with the black bag over it. So just round the corner it drops down to 15 miles an hour. dear. Oh, apologies. It's been a long week. So we've got a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit here. I've talked about why it's to protect a signal around this corner, Whiskey Delta 8 Alpha. That was, I think, the second or third repeater, I can't remember, and it's this signal on the right-hand side. Come down here too fast. By the time you see that's red, you won't stop before it. So at these next lights on the right, it goes up to 25. I'm just waiting to see if the last signal before the platform is green, which it is. So we're clearing the platform at Hammersmith, Piccadilly and District Line. And we've got a Cockfosters service 2 minutes behind us. There's one 1 minute behind that, and I'd imagine there's more. So we're starting to see more greens, so hopefully they're starting to spread out a bit, so hopefully it won't be as slow, but that's the famous last words. So we can go into the siding here, you just see the track going off to the right hand side there, and we can reverse. Well, that's what the siding's for, it's for reversing. We can do quite a bit here, but we wouldn't leave a train in there unless something serious had happened. So Barron's Court is next. So the signal failure was between Barron's Court and Earl's Court. I believe that has cleared up, so hopefully. I think, as I said earlier, should we have to deal with a signal failure, I will turn the video off. All I'll say is, if you want to know what happens, what we do when there's a signal failure, there are videos out there that shows you. And as I've said many times, I just don't want to take liberties with what I film. Otherwise I won't be able to do anything at all. This is Barron's Court. So the next signal, which is just down the hill before the tunnel, is red. A lot of drivers would remain here. As soon as the digital voice announcer's finished, I'm going to go. Even though I know that next signal's red. Because all that happens is the trains behind just back up even more when there's no reason not to move up to the next signal. Some people will stay there because they'll go, well, you know, less chance of having a SPAD. SPAD, signal passed at danger, if you've not watched some of my other videos. But I'm just crawling along 15 miles an hour. There's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. That's changed now. So when we get into the pipe, as it's called, there is a signal that will be red, Alpha 655. So what the speed limit's for is to protect that. It's always red, and because trains are backed up, there's every chance it will stay red. Although in 8 years of me being here, I've never had to stop at it. It's always cleared. But if we're going much above 20 mile an hour, it will never clear. It's a speed controlled signal. Seems extra dark. Maybe it's just because it's bright out. So I'm doing about 15 miles an hour. So there's the first repeater for Alpha 655. There is also a board with a B on it on the left hand side coming up, and that's a brake board. As far as I know, it's the only one on this line, or the only one I can think of, and the idea is that if you're doing the speed limit, if you brake at that board, you'll stop before the signal. But I'm doing 15. Once I know it's clear, I can wind up to 20. there'll be another repeater. So this, my memory serves me, this is a repeater, so it has cleared. Yeah, and there's the signal out for 655, just here. So it used to be 25 miles an hour down here, and then I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I can't remember now, they changed it to 20. Right, we're clear. Well, we're not clear into Earls Court yet, but we might be. But Earls Court either way is the next station. As always, I'm rabbiting on. Reflection of the station starter, so I know that's red. I can now see the signal. At least that's changed now. So people have asked me, I don't know if you saw it, I'll show it on another station where it's clearer. There's a red square with a T on it and a cross through it. What that means is that the tunnel telephone or tunnel telephone wires are not working. Now, back in the day, before my time, so if you was in a tunnel and you needed to turn power off, before we had radios, so again, before my time, you'd rub the two wires together and it'd cut power. The other way to do it is we had handsets, telephone handsets in the train, and then you'd hook it up onto the two wires, it would cut the power, and then connect you directly to the controller stroke signaller. But I think they've all been taken out now because we've all got, every train's got a radio on it, and we've all got personal radio, so we can contact them that way. Some of the tunnel telephones probably still work, but I would only try them in a real emergency where I couldn't do anything else to try and get power off. Basically, that's what it means. And until such a point they update the rule books and everything, then they'll keep displaying the T to tell us that the wires or telephone are not working. Hope that makes sense. We're now coming into Gloucester Road. There was a 25 mile an hour temporary speed restriction that we went over when I was talking, and that was there for sighting distance. There was a signal that if you were going at normal line speed, by the time you saw it was red, you wouldn't be at stop, so they put in the temporary speed limit to slow people down at the point where they could stop once they saw the signal. Again, hope it makes sense. So we're just, it's 2028 to be precise. I should be at Cockfosters in 22 minutes, 23 minutes. Come on. I hate working weekends. People can't work out how to get on and off a train. I know I've discussed this a few times in my early videos. So where was we? That was Gloucester Road, so it's South Kensington next. Clear into the platform. And I'm doing about 30, so I'm going to brake now. Oh, I'm in service 2. Let's go 3. Service 2. Service 1. And will I need to off and release? service 2, 3 and 1, and then we stop spot on. So this is South Ken Ben's, 20 mph speed limit, but we've got a temporary speed restriction of 15 due to wheel screeching again. I think I've mentioned this before, been here for, I think it got put in around COVID. So yeah, probably 3 years-ish. So I'm just doing just a touch under 15. There's 15, so just letting it roll round in off and release. The curves will take some of the speed out. Creeping up a little bit there, let's bring it back down. Oh, apologies. Oh dear. So today's duty, I started, what was it, about 20 past 5-ish, can't remember now, and it was, or it is a double T4, so Cockfosters, Terminal 4 Cockfosters, and then the second half the same again, stopping at Turnham Green both ways, stabling at 109, so it's a 1:30 finish again. So we're clear into the platform at Knightsbridge. There is a 25 mph speed limit just where the signal is ahead, and then just round the corner there's a 20. So I'm doing about 26, 27, then I'll bring it all the way down to 20. That way I don't forget about the 20 around the corner. So it's doing 20, yeah, 26. 25 mph limit, you'll just see the whiteboard on the left coming up just before this signal. So let's bring it down, there's the 25. There you go, I'm doing 20 now. Off and release. 20 mph is just here on the left. I've just got it in shunt. The curve took a couple of mph out of it, so it's doing about 18. So they're just calling trains on the westbound to reverse them early, well not early, but in terms of stations to try and get them back on time, which is what they did to me. But of course I lost all that time trying to get through Acton town. So Hyde Park Corner next. Quite busy this station earlier, so we are right behind a train, so they may have taken the strain for us. So this station will start getting busier as we hit July and August. There's several concerts in the park at Hyde Park. I think it's Shania Twain is one of the big ones this year. And it's only a small station, so it does struggle to cope. So, I forgot to make the announcement about the lift. I'll do that. Just like to advise passengers, due to lift maintenance work, there is no step 3 access from the Piccadilly Line at Green Park until approximately November this year. Thank you. I normally do that at the station, but completely forgot. I'd imagine most people know about it now. So 30 mile an hour speed limit down here. This is a Down Street disused station. Just before the platform at Green Park, it does drop down to 25. We've got at least one red. I think it's the last signal before the platform. It's just rolling around about 25. It is going uphill slightly now. Yeah, so there's a red, and we're clearing for the platform. See how busy this one is. Here was me expecting all these platforms to be really busy. Still, if all goes well later, we'll have a look at it on the westbound for the following video. But who knows what will happen later? It could be cancelled. So I expect there's reds ahead, just around this corner. The train's in the platform, yes it is. So there's 3 red signals, and then the train ahead, if you can't make it out, it's the 2 red signals, 2 red lights in the very far distance. And that's Piccadilly Circus to be precise. So these will drop off or clear one at a time. I'm just let's get it up to about 5 miles an hour. There we go. Let it roll down. It is downhill slightly. Been mindful that the next signal is red. That's cleared. I'm still going to let it roll down. It's much easier to put more power on than it is to try and take it away when you're running out of the track before the signal. I'm just doing 15, I'm just going to let it roll into the platform. Because the station starter will be red. And we're going to have the same issue towards Leicester Square. We're going to see reds in the tunnel. Now Leicester Square platform, if the station starter is on, there's a speed controlled train stop.
This is a message to operators, the approach to Arnos Cross East and West. Delay taking place is due to relief issues Arnos due to
yeah, so there's a speed controlled train stop. So on, I'm just listening to the radio. Let me get out of here and I'll explain again, or try to. Turn that back up so I don't miss an emergency message. Yes, so there's a speed controlled train stop. If the station starter is red, the train stop won't drop unless you're doing 10 miles an hour or less, or the station starter goes green. sleeping policeman, which I'm sure is sexist nowadays, but the railway, very male dominated when they named a lot of these things. So I'm just doing about 10 miles an hour. I'm just letting it roll around until I know what these signals are. So it's red, green. I'm still going to let it roll around, wait for that last one, and then I'll put a bit of power on, and then hopefully we won't have to worry about the speed control train stop. As we go down the platform, you'll see it on the right hand side of the track, between the track and the platform, about 3/4 of the way down. If it's down, you'll just see the box on the floor. If it's up, you'll see a whitish arm. So this is Leicester Square. So I'm going to get it up to 20. Well, actually, yeah, it's about 18. Obviously, I need to keep my eye on my signals and people on the platform and my speed. So let's bring that bring that down to 10 now, so I don't forget. It's 10 miles an hour. Train stop's just dropped. It's just here on the right on the floor. Yeah, it's easy to lose focus when you're coming into a platform, especially a busy one, because what do you focus on? The people, and make sure there's no one putting themselves in harm's way, your speed, or the train stop in that instance. So it's just making sure basically you're doing all of it. Yeah, it's easy to get, excuse the pun, but it's easy to have tunnel vision. This train is now ready to depart. Please mind the closing doors. Right, sorry about that. There was someone right near the side of the train. I don't know whether they was drunk or what, and they're just running about the platform. So I needed to just wait. If they'd have stayed near the train, I would have called up control and not moved the train until it's safe to do so. But they disappeared onto the other platform. So Covent Garden. So Holborn is the next station. Got 20 mile an hour speed limit around the bends. There's a gap just here on the right hand side, and that's for the westbound Piccadilly Line. I'm doing 15. Track goes round to the left and then to the right, and I expect to see at least one red. Just depends on how close that red is, so I'm just leaving it at 15. Clearly I was at Leicester Square a little bit longer than I thought. So, we're clearing for platform, so we get it up to 20 miles an hour. There we go. Just give it a little bit of shunt just to keep it at about 18, 19. It's dropping down to about 16 because of the curve. Let it roll round. So you can see that T on the wall there a bit clearer. The red one with a white cross through it. Piccadilly. This train is ready to depart. Can you please mind the doors? No, they're going to hold them. Right, to all them passengers that are throwing themselves in the door, this is not the last train of the evening. That's not till tomorrow night. There's a train 2 minutes behind. Honest, it really gets on my nerves. I know it sounds like I'm being rude, and I am to an extent, but they injure themselves. I've got to explain it. Right, this track here, I've explained before, comes from the old Aldwych branch. Yeah, these are grown adults and they can't figure out how to get on a train, or one of them will hold the door open because the rest of their family have just left home and they're waiting for them to get to the train. But all it does is cause further delays and runs the risk of injuring them or breaking the train, and then everyone gets kicked off. There's just no need. Anyway, deep breaths. There's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit just behind this signal. If you remember, I've mentioned this before. It's just there. If you can, probably, I don't think it came out last time we went this way.
Did I try 334 Russell Square eastbound in Caution? Yeah, Caution.
So I've just had a message. Bear me. Yeah, 334 just approaching Russell Square on the east. Pass your message. Yeah, that's all received in at Caution, over. Right, bear me a second. Passenger announcement. I do apologise. We are going to be coming into the platform at Russell Square at slow speed. This is due to somebody ill on the platform. I'm going to turn the camera off. Someone's ill on the platform. I'll see you the other side. Right, apologies for that. We are at Russell Square. There was a child on the platform having a seizure. Just as we was coming in, heard on the message urgent call to come in at Caution. So you heard the alarms going off. At the time I didn't know what the reason was, so I went straight into emergency, just to bring the, because for all I know there could have been somebody on the track. But yeah, I didn't want to film, I didn't know it was a child, but it's not fair that I film somebody having a bad day on the platform, so I'm sure you understand. Now normally we do Caution just in and we're alright to depart normally, but just in case there's any issues I'm just going to leave slower. And wish them a speedy recovery. So there we go, clear of the platform. Yeah, so again, apologies for that. That's why I try to have the radio turned up. You never know when you get an urgent or an emergency call. So for me, I will automatically, if they're calling me, I will automatically go straight into emergency. I'd rather bring the train to a stop in a tunnel and find out, you know, it's just coming slow, rather than there's someone on the track or something. So King's Cross, St Pancras.
Train eastbound approaching Russell Square. This is approaching Caution. There's eastbound trains approaching Caution until further notice. This is due to those that receive you on the platform. Station staff are in attendance. Russell Square eastbound again. So
I don't know if it's come out on the video. They're just telling trains to carry on going in at Caution speed. This is King's Cross. So before anyone asks me, Caution speed, there isn't actually written anywhere what speed that is. It's basically a speed where you can stop short of an obstruction. So most drivers will do 5 miles an hour, give or take. So yeah, I was coming into the station about 5 miles an hour, because you never know how close someone is to the edge of the platform, especially if they're having a seizure. It's not so easy to control where they go. And the moron gets stuck in the door. Can the person standing in the door get on or off? To the person standing in the door, on or off? What a moron. Yeah, again, I'm sorry, it winds me up. He's just standing there talking to people on the platform with doors closing on him. You want to talk? Get off. You're probably seeing a different side to me today. Anywho, deep breaths. So we're running about half an hour late at the moment. I should have been at Cockfosters about 1 minute ago. And it's roughly half an hour from King's Cross to Cockfosters if it runs normally. I expect it to be slow in place up towards maybe Wood Green and Arnos Grove as they're reversing trains, etc. So this is York Road disused station here on the right hand side. So we're just doing about 35-36 miles an hour. I've got 3 signals, they're all green, so there's 3 signals before the platform. This first green, if you come around that corner and not expect it to be red, it can give you a bit of a shock. And the ones in the distance are quite a distance away, so if they're red, you're fine. For a fair distance, I would normally probably start braking about now and slow it down, but they're green, we're fine into the platform. So we're doing about 36, just off and releasing, or let it be coast. Speed's coming down a little bit. And there's about 25 and service 1. See what that does? I'm going to go service 2. I'm going to hold it in service 2, I think. And there's 10, service 1. Into 2, 1. Can we do it without off and releasing? Oh, not quite. That's it. Left it in 2 just a little bit too long. This is Caledonian Road, or Cali Road, as everyone calls it. Holloway Road is next. Let me just make sure I've got enough battery on here. Yeah, we're alright for battery. Got about 4.5 hours on the memory card, so I don't think we need to worry too much about that. Service 1, I'm going to go service 2 and 3. I was doing about 30 just before the platform, then to service 2 and into 1. That's 10. I'm going to give it a little bit of 2 and back into 1. Off and release and service 1. There we go. Arsenal is next. I hope to keep you with me all the way up to Cockfosters, but we'll see how we get on. station, the track just goes just slightly off to the left before the station, just after this second signal. So it's just rolling round, doing about 28, 29.
Issues at Arnos, but we're just trying to keep trains running through times. I know you're running low, we appreciate it's been a bad evening, but we are trying to keep trains running through Arnos. There are some suggestions for result, but you can try that.
Right, sorry I wasn't telling you what I was doing then, I was just listening to an announcement. There's congestion at Arnos Grove. Obviously people are running late, so they're having to reverse people. You're going to have people late on their breaks. They have to have a minimum of 30-minute break. So then you're going to have trains with no drivers on. It has just been a bit of a rough day. I mean, I may have explained earlier, I picked this train up 20-25 minutes early. That was before the signal failure. And yeah, things have just gone downhill since. Right, next stop, Finsbury Park. There's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit just here, just before the signal. Looks like we're clearing for platform. Will we see a Victoria Line train pass us? We haven't yet, whilst I'm filming anyway. The Victoria Line is just here on the right-hand side. Just going to off and release. I'm doing about, well, it was doing about 28, 29, but it's dropped down a bit now. 25, service 1, service 2, back into 1, 2, hang on, 3, 4, down into 1, 2, 3, and back to 1. Sometimes I just can't make my mind up. But the main thing is we stopped in the right place. And that's all that really matters. Manor House is next. Getting a headache. I'm kind of hoping from my point of view that they cancel my next train. As I've said, it's just been one of those days and I can't see it getting better. I try not to get stressed generally, because if you stress yourself out you end up making a mistake, because you're thinking about what stressed you out and you end up overshooting a platform or going through a red signal. But when it's constant people throwing themselves indoors and constant delays, it can get to you. But these things can't be helped. Well, some of these things can't be helped. So I'm just doing service 1. Actually, there's 15. I'm just going to let it roll down the platform and back into 1. A little bit of 2 into 1, and off and release for half a yard.
We get out for Charlie to inbound 160 using them. Once again, Russell Square Station, approach with caution. This is due to burst anesthesia on the platform. Now, Russell Square Station, approach with caution. Due to burst anesthesia on the platform. Receiving same message over.
Okay. They're calling trains on the eastbound, so I'm just got an ear out just to make sure there's nothing that they're calling me for. Got a red round the corner, I saw the reflection of it. Yeah. I think it's now going to be what we call stick to stick. So all red signals I'm expecting pretty much up to Cockfosters. Turnpike Lane, I can't remember if I said that, that's next. As always, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified when a new video comes out. I'll do my best to put one out every Saturday, or at least most Saturdays. At the moment, because I don't have any time off, I'm at the end of June at the moment, and my next annual leave, I've got a week off, is the beginning of September. So it's a bit difficult to try and go and film other stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to do something. We are being held at a red signal, be on the move again shortly. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'll get something done. We've got something near where I live. Heritage Line.
This is a big control to all trains. Non-stop Russell Square. Non-stop Russell Square. This is due to the person having a seizure on the platform. Non-stop Russell Square. 337 approaching Russell Square expanding soon.
Okay, so they're now not stopping at Russell Square on the east due to that passenger. Hope they're okay.
Are you approaching Russell Square on the east end?
I just got half an ear on what's going on.
So are you approaching Russell Square on the east end? Approaching Russell Square on the east end. Can you confirm you've got my message, please, Alan? Yeah, that's confirmed. So your message non-stop Russell Square on the east end. Yeah, thank you, Driver. Yeah, that's just to confirm then. Russell Square station eastbound only is closed with non-stop Russell Square. Thank you very much.
What was I going to say to you? Yes, so there's a railway heritage line near me, run steam trains. They've got a Thomas the Tank Engine train. I'm going to try and get over there one day this summer and do a little bit of filming. I mean, I know very little about steam trains other than they need generally coal and water, but it'll be kind of cool. I've lived there on and off for 25 years now and I've never been. So yeah, I'll try and do that this summer. Yeah, we'll see what else we can get. Whilst we sit here, let's have a look at what's going on. Let's have a look at what time. So it's currently 21:05, and I'm due to pick up my next train at 21:49. I don't think I'll do that. Oh, right. I'm just standing up. I'll also, end of September, I'll be heading off, or the plan is to head off to New York. I'll be filming the flight going out, which at the minute it'll be first class with British Airways on the 777. I'll be coming back with British Airways on the 777 in business class, but at the moment it's their old business class. Whilst I'm out there, haven't booked anything yet. I'm probably going to take the train. At the moment, I'm thinking I'll take the the Azalea down to Washington. Probably go down in business, come back in first, or vice versa. That's an extra couple of videos for you all to enjoy. Right. I do apologise for the delay. We do have a lot of congestion getting up towards Arnos and Cockfosters. This is due to disruption earlier with a signal failure. I do apologise, and we'll have you move in as soon as we can. Thank you. We'll turn that aircon off. I'm sure turn it on again in a minute. Now normally we'd ring up after 2 minutes. But I know they said there was congestion into Arnos Grove, so if in another couple of minutes we're not moving, I'll ring them to confirm that it's still due to congestion rather than a signal failure. Now, because this is an automatic signal, and I know it's an automatic because the signal number starts with an A, it's Alpha 853. If I couldn't find out why the signal was red, I'm allowed to pass that signal under my own authority. So it wouldn't go down as a SPAD, as long as I followed the correct procedure for that. I'm not going to do it though, because I'm expecting a train ahead. Do you know what, let's see if the signaller will answer and just make sure. Problem is, when you've got disruption, they're all busy and it's hard to get an answer from anyone. Don't think the signaler's going to get back to me. Once again, apologies, we are still being held at a red signal.
Control, I just want to say an update. Due to crew relief issues after the failure at Elstcourt and other minor issues, trains are congested between Finsbury and Arnos Grove. Ready to try that. Okay, so yeah, it is due to congestion. Yeah, apologies for that, I was just listening to the radio. Yeah, so we are being held at a red signal. We do have congestion all the way up to Arnos Grove. We had a signal failure earlier and a few other minor issues, and the problem now is drivers are not where they should be. We've got trains with no drivers on, drivers with no trains. They're turning trains early and things. So we're just a little bit slow. I don't know how long we'll be sat here, but hopefully not too long. There's not much of a breeze in the tunnel, but just make sure that the vents above the windows are in the open position, and open the windows or drop the windows at the end of the carriages, just to try and get a little bit of air in. Thank you. Problem is, because it's quite warm today, I don't think I'm overly busy, but if I was really busy, you'd start having people pass out. And it's there's a lot of signals between here and the next station. If I've got people ill, it's an issue. Well, it's an issue anywhere, but at least if you're close by. Do you know what? I'm going to turn that off. Might as well fill out my book. Oh, where is it? It's not there. What did we do? We reversed Hatton Cross, didn't we? So I always make a note in my book if something's different, so I'll write down what duty I'm on, what train number. I'll write down the leading car number, both ends, assuming I drive both ends, and then, like, we're reversed at Hatton Cross, I make a note of that. And that way, if they come up to me in a week's time and said, you were on this train and you did this, I can look back in my book and say, yes I was, or no I wasn't. Let's have a mint. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn you off and I'll turn you back on when we're moving. Right, we've just moved. We were sat there for, according to my watch, nearly 15 minutes. I don't think the battery on this is going to last all the way to Cockfosters, especially not at this speed.
but we'll see how we get on. I even took out my radio because I tried calling control, tried calling the signal. I appreciate they're busy, and I tried calling my trains manager, but they're busy as well, because they'd be able to look on the system and just double check that there was trains ahead of us rather than a signal failure. My main concern is it is warm and I don't want people starting to collapse on the train, because there's nothing I can do about it in a tunnel. So it's currently 20 past, just coming up to 20 past 9. So yeah, we was there for almost 15 minutes. I'm due to pick up in 20 minutes, and it's probably going to take me another 20 minutes, half an hour to get up to Cockfosters. In fact, I'm putting my radio back on, so I've just realised I better try and call the manager and let her know that I won't be there to pick my train up on time. Let's have a look. What time did I say? 49. So I'll pick up in half an hour actually, so we'll see how we get on. Because if I'm not going to be at Cockfosters before I'm due to pick that train up, if it gets reformed, so they change another train into mine, she might not realise that I'm not there to pick it up. And then there's a train there with no driver and it just delays things even more. So if I can give her a heads up, hopefully I'll get there before I would pick up. Although if we sit at this signal, I'll try ringing her. In fact, if this stays red, once I've made an announcement, I'll give her a quick ring, or try to, and let her know, and then at least they can plan. We are being held at another red signal. Once again, I do apologise. I'm sure the signals do it on purpose. I'm sure they look and think, right, it's just about to tell them that we're red. Let's change. They're out to get me, I tell you. I think we're clearing for the platform. Let me see if she'll answer if she's free. Yeah, let's see. Lauren, it's Dale. I just want to give you a heads up. I'm supposed to be picking up 2:40 in about 25 minutes or so, but I'm still on my first train. Turnpike. I was just kind of concerned there might be a reform and you not realise that I haven't got off my first train yet. I know. Oh, alright, I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye. And before anyone comments, that's the works radio, not my phone. And she called me professional. It's not what she called me earlier. But yeah, the thing is, you run the risk of, like I said, her not knowing I'm not there for my break. And if they reform a train, so reform is, so this train, what number are we? 334. So someone who, let's say someone wants train 100, they'll then take my train and change it to theirs. So So that's how sometimes you can get a late train back on time by reforming it. So if they reform my train to run it on time, it just sits on the platform with no one on it. At least now if they do that, it's not my problem. I've done my bit. Some drivers would just turn around and say, well, it's not my problem. But the way I see it, things are screwed up enough without having a reason to delay things even more. And now I'm hot. I need to put the air conditioning back on. Oh, so this is Wood Green. So let me put all my stuff away. Air conditioning on, seat out. That'll keep me going. I'm sure you're surprised to hear we are being held at another red signal. Once again, I do apologise. We've had a few incidents today that's caused delays, worst one being an earlier signal failure. I'll have you on the move shortly. So just in the distance, I don't know if it's come out on camera, there's a train coming out of Wood Green sidings. You might just be able to see the lights go by. And I still need the toilet. Normally I can't make it from one end to the other, but normally I can't make it a couple of stations, but anyway. So again, I'm going to turn you off and I'll put you back on when we're ready to go. Let's see how far we get this time. I was probably sat there another minute, maybe 2 minutes since turning you off. So yeah, if we're going into Wood Green sidings, we'd be going off onto the right there where those lights are. I'm expecting the next signal to be on, or red, so I'm just doing 15 miles an hour, just yeah, I can see the reflection of the repeater. Oh dear. That's 10 miles an hour, hopefully that will clear before we get to it. Yep, there you go. I think, as I've said in many previous videos, I'd rather drive slowly up to a red signal and hopefully not have to stop. Because as you've seen when we sat in the tunnel, constantly making announcements. Passengers don't want to hear your announcements, they just want to be moving. I mean, obviously they want to know why they're not, but yeah, I'd rather crawl along 5 miles an hour and apologise for that than having to stop at every signal. And of course, sometimes you have no choice. So I'm just still doing, what am I doing, 15 miles an hour. Until I know what the next signal's doing. Actually, it's dropped down a bit, let's get a bit more speed on it. So yeah, next one's red still, so again I'm just letting it roll round, it's doing about 12, 13, down to 10. And we're going to get it up to again about 15. Actually, we'll get it up to 20. Oh, let's treat ourselves. There we go. Speedy Gonzales. again, you can see there's yellow in the distance as we approach Bounds Green. I'm doing about 15. Oh dear. So it's just dropped to about 6 or 7 miles an hour. It's slightly uphill, so I've got to be careful it doesn't drop too much because you run the risk of the train rolling back. We do have a rollback protection. We stop just here. I'll tell you about that in a second. Bear with me one moment. I was just looking in the platform, it looks like the train has just departed. Yeah, yeah, the rollback protection system. When I was training up, some people said that if the train wheels roll back 2 complete rotations, revolutions, anyway, it's been a long day, it'll bring on the emergency brakes. Others said it's only 1, but either way, if the rollback protection gets activated, that's a safety critical incident, because it means you've allowed your train to roll back, which is obviously not safe. So it's Bounds Green. So next stop is Arnos Grove, so we'll be popping out the tunnel soon, hopefully. The D off that you should be able to see on the wall there on the right, I mean, again, I've explained it a few times in videos, but that's for the winter. Some trains are operational sleep trains, they're called, and we have sleep brushes on them and de-icing fluid. So obviously if it was the middle of winter and it was icy, that would say D on, and if we was driving one of those trains, we'd turn it on to de-ice and scrape the power rails. Of course, if it gets really bad and we get stuck, we'd have to get power switched off and we'd have to go out and manually scrape the rails to clear it of ice or snow. Because what happens is, if it builds up, the shoes, the collector shoes, ride up over the ice, then you're not on the power. Once again, apologies, we are being held at a red signal. This is due to earlier disruption. Thank you. Oh dear. You don't know how tyrant it is just sitting here. I think I said again in a video a couple of weeks back, when all these signals are green, you don't notice them as such. You do, but only subconsciously. It's only when they're all red that you realise how many there actually are. I think from here there's about 6, I think it's 6 signals between here and the platform at Arnos Grove. So we've probably got trains reversing at Arnos Grove, and also it's a relieving point for drivers. So again, if a driver's late for their meal, break or grub, they're not going to be there to pick their train up. once again, I'm going to switch you off and I'll put you back on when we're ready to move. Sorry, I forgot to turn you back on. We sat there, I don't know, another 5 minutes or so. So at this rate, I'm not sure my battery will last all the way to Cockfosters. I do have a spare battery with me. I'm not going to put that in just to film the last little bit, so if it dies before then it does. Because things are so late, I don't know if I will be going west later. If I do, I will try and film, see how it is in town on a Saturday night going west. But if the next video after this is something different, then it's because for one reason or another I wasn't able to film. So this is the last signal before we exit the pipe. Once again, apologies, we are just been held at another red signal. It's not right that I keep telling them we'll be on the move again shortly, because every time I say that, we're not. Whilst I was on the whilst I was at Bounds Green, I was just looking. I've been on this train almost 4 hours now. Maximum driving time is 4 hours 15, but we should make it to Cockfosters with a few minutes to spare. Because I actually now, let's have a look at the time. I pick up my next train in 10 minutes, and we're at least 10 minutes away from Cockfosters. But because I'm really good, what I'll say to the manager when I get up there, depending what their plan is with my next train, if it's just to go in the depot, I'll put it away, because then I can have my break after. Rather than the next driver running even later to put it away whilst I have a coffee. Obviously if they want me to run west, then I'll be having my break and then I'll pick my train up after. Makes sense, I'm sure. Let's see what's going on ahead. So there's a train just ahead. You might not be able to see that, just going into the sidings at Arnos, so hopefully we won't be here too long. Now we're just waiting on a vacant platform at Arnos Grove, then we'll be on the move. Thank you. I'm sure they're cursing me by now. Yeah, so train, if you can't see it, has just come out the middle platform going into the sidings. Hopefully they'll route me into the middle, or the train that was in the platform 1, the eastbound platform, has departed and we can get straight in. Just need that train that's gone into the sidings to clear the section. There we go. So we've got a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. The next signal is, we've got route indicator on it. So if we was going in the middle, we'd just get a green signal. If we're going in the eastbound platform 1, we get the 3 lights across to the left. And if we was going into the westbound platform, we'd get 3 lights across to the right. Simple. But then what a lot of people forget is the signal just before the platform. So we're going into the middle. If a train had just departed the eastbound, so platform 1, we would get held at this next signal. I'm not expecting to, no, it's cleared. So I wasn't expecting to get held, but I was only doing about 15 miles an hour. Now, if there's any driver here, bear me a moment.
to improve the shoots and should release. So the earlier signal failure I was caught and other minor incidents that have taken place in Sydney. Trains already through on this road, drivers appreciate it very late.
Should there be a driver that needs a lift, then obviously I'll turn the video off from here, but doesn't look like it. Right, let's go. So next stop is Southgate. Oh, that was a little bit rough. If you're ever at Arnos Grove Station, there's some pictures on the bridge there of them building this, is it a bridge or is it a viaduct? Anyway, there's pictures of them building it. I think it was in the 30s, I think I put it on a different video when this was extended from Finsbury Park up. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to look at, the pictures. And there's a picture of the site that they put Arnos Grove on when it was just basically a field. So yeah, just take your time and have a look at that if you're passing through. So we're motoring now 35 miles an hour and green signals. Something tells me that's not going to last though, but we'll see. So just got a small section of tunnel here. It's going to be signal to signal, but stick to stick as is known. So basically, all reds all the way up. Because we're going to have the same issues at Cockfosters. We've only got 3 platforms, and if you've got a train, what's called sat down, so it's there with no driver because they're still on a break, and then yeah, you get delayed. This video has given you a bit more of an insight in what can go wrong. You just never know what kind of day you're going to have. This is probably one of the worst trips I've had in a long while. I've been running late pretty much every day for the last 2 weeks or so, but you know, it's like finishing 10 minutes late at night and things. Certainly nothing this late, so my next train is due in 3 minutes. So even if I do pick up my next train and run west, I won't be running it all the way down to Terminal 4, I hope, because I'd be running about an hour late. Maybe 40 minutes, but so we're heading uphill towards Oakwood. There's a signal just round this corner, so you've got to be careful. When the trees are in bloom, it blocks it. I can just see it's green. After this signal, there's 3 more before the platform at Oakwood, I think. Is this a stop signal or is this a repeater? I can't remember now. Oh no, alright, make it 4. I forgot about this one. So at the moment, the signal is on for the last 2 signals before the platform. We get held coming up here at night quite a lot when trains go into the depot via Oakwood. because obviously they need to be detrained on the platform. It takes a few minutes rather than opening and closing your doors, as we'll do, hopefully. So I don't know if it'll come out, you've got 3 yellows ahead. The signal is round the corner, so you can easily miss it, and then the last signal before the station is even more hidden. Like that last one clear. And I will wet myself in a minute. I just thought I'd share that with you. I can't go 4 hours without going to the toilet even in my sleep. And we're clear into the platform. Yay! Almost there. So Oakwood. One more stop. Well, the last stop after this is Cockfosters. How exciting! Doggy's excited to get on the train. Alright. Let me get my seat ready. That way I can get straight off the train. Have a mint. So if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. And I hope you've found this one a little... I mean, I know a lot of you enjoy all of them, but I hope this one has been interesting, shall we say, with, yeah, the little things that can happen. Although we're not at Cockfosters yet, so I shouldn't get too excited. A lot can still go wrong. Now, I don't know if there's a vacant platform. I can see the train ahead of me has just gone into a platform. Yeah, there's a vacant platform for me. So I will say now, thank you so much for watching. So I don't know what I'll film next, whether I do it today, if I do go westbound or what, but subscribe and find out what will be next week. Thank you for watching and for putting up with me. Until next time, take care. It's a passenger announcement. You'll be glad to hear we're now arriving at Cockfosters, finally. This train will terminate here. All change, please, all change. I was hoping that they'd all go woohoo, but no one did. Platform 1, 15 miles an hour. The train stop drops closer to 10 miles an hour. You'll see it just on the right hand side. Let me bring it down a bit more. There's 10. Just there. I think it actually drops about 12, but I like to see it drop in front of me. Right, once I'm berthed fully and the doors are open, I will call it a night. So again, thank you so much. Take care.